guys, welcome back to Homistics. Today I want to talk to you about setting up a delightful and stress-free dinner party that your guests will enjoy and remember for a very long time. Listen, you guys, you all know that these days are just really stressful with family and company over. There is so much to take care of. So I think that setting up a table that makes your guests feel comfortable, make them feel like you've thought about it. There's thought behind it. There's an idea behind it. Makes the whole procedure, the whole act more meaningful. So make sure you have all the things that you need, your cutlery, dishes, napkins, tablecloth, table runners, and whatever it is that you need, because this is going to make the whole thing run smooth. What you end up using depends on what you plan on serving. To begin with, I choose a theme or a color scheme to create a cohesive and inviting atmosphere. Whether it's a seasonal theme or a specific color palette, it doesn't matter, but consistency is key. It will bring out the best in the dining experience. Go for centerpieces that complement your theme, but make sure they're not too tall so they don't get in the way when your guests are trying to have a conversation with each other. Also, try and bring in some variation in the height of the things that you're decorating with, because this brings in depth and character to the table. You will see that the table decoration will end up being the beginning or the trigger for a conversation at the table. And this is especially helpful if you're expecting guests that are not familiar with each other. When I'm having company over, I like to ask about their dietary restrictions and preferences before I plan the actual menu. If you know me, you know I believe that less is more, so I prefer to have only a few dishes on the menu. I make sure that there's enough food, don't worry about that, and of course I make sure that it's delicious. I find it confusing and stressful when you prepare too many different kinds of dishes. It's like it takes away interest from each individual dish. I like to prepare as much as I can in advance to reduce the stress on the day of the dinner. And chopping vegetables, marinating meats, or even pre-cooking certain dishes. All of these things can save a lot of time. I pay attention to the presentation of the dish, the garnishing with fresh herbs, or arranging the food thoughtfully on a plate. All of these things can make a big difference on how your meal is received by your guests and how they enjoy it at the end of the day. eating together as a family or a community has become so rare nowadays, but I still believe that it should not be underestimated. Eating together doesn't only nourish our bodies and our souls, but it helps us with values, to pass on traditions. It strengthens our relationships and strengthens cultural heritage. Now, I'm not the kind of person that thinks that we should all do things exactly the same way. I think it is good to know about eating etiquettes when you travel to different countries, because different countries, different people have their own ways of doing things. In places like Thailand, in Africa, India, Middle East, people traditionally eat with their hands. For example, in Mexico, they take the tortillas to scoop their food there. Sometimes by taking the food using your hands, we are enjoying the benefits of feeling the food, to be mindful of its temperature and texture before it's put into the body. Our fingers help us to create a deeper connection with food and increases like an awareness of the taste. So I do not judge. I love eating together with other people. The concept of togetherness, where the family and friends gather around like a large plate of food and eat from it together. The way I'm setting the table today is appropriate for the food that I'm going to serve. So even there, I ask you, I urge you to do things according to what it is that you're going to serve. Sharing a meal with loved ones creates a beautifully unique opportunity for bonding and connecting. Sitting down together allows for meaningful conversations, sharing stories, and creating lasting memories. So by sharing traditional dishes and recipes, we also pass down knowledge from one generation to the next, keeping our traditions alive. It is through these shared meals that we can truly appreciate the diversity and the richness of the world, of our community, whether it's a festive holiday feast or simply a family recipe. Eating together strengthens our connections to our roots and to a sense of pride in culture and identity. It also teaches us the value of patience as we wait for everyone to be seated, as we wait for everyone to finish before we stand up. The importance of sharing as we pass dishes around the table, or as we all eat from the same dish, from the same plate, and the art of compromise as we try different dietary preferences, different foods. These values learned around the dinner table go beyond mealtime, and they shape our interactions with each other in all aspects of life. Being a child of the world, I appreciate and I respect and honor all different types of ways people come together and enjoy a meal. So before my company comes over, I make sure that I do my very best, that the table is set. Even the process itself is fulfilling to me. I make sure that my home is clean and welcoming. I focus on areas where my guests will spend the most time, like the kitchen or maybe the living room, and of course the guest bathroom, making sure these areas are neat and tidy, decluttered, that they smell fresh. And that is the feeling that I want my company to have when they come over. I want them to feel comfortable. I also like to set the mood with the right lighting and with music. I curate a playlist depending on who's coming over, just to make it a warm and inviting atmosphere for my guests. Whether it's around the table or on the floor, make a conscious effort to have more shared meals. Whether it's with family or friends, neighbors, or even with strangers, we can create a space of connection, understanding, and love.